Hey everybody, Brian here from I Like It Spooky Horror Podcast. And one of the things I want to do in 2025 is get more video content out for the show. And I was lucky enough to go to an estate sale or a yard sale, whatever you want to call it, and met some family. Not my family, another family, but I did end up knowing the family, and their brother had passed, and he was single with no children. So he got to buy whatever he wanted. And one of the things he loved was movies. He loved physical media. He had movies and records and all kinds of stuff he had a quiet room where you just plug in and watch movies and listen to music. You couldn't hear a thing in there unless you were in the room playing. Couldn't hear cars go by, you couldn't hear anything. So I was lucky enough to grab about 400 movies from his collection for very cheap, and they're in a box right over here. Well, actually two boxes. And then behind me, there's some movies in that box. And then the boxes on top of that box, there's Severin films, there's a TerraVision film, and there's Vinegar Syndrome films. And I have all these movies. And I love physical media and I want to share it with the world because I don't think physical media dies. It may become a little boutiquey, but I don't think the Walmarts of the world are going to stop carrying physical media. I mean, if they do, I feel like it'd be stupid. They still sell a lot of physical media or a decent amount at Walmart. I know Target has, but they replaced it with records. You know, records are supposed to be dead. They died. Books died when the Kindle came out. Music died, when the internet was made and Napster and all that stuff. But here we are with records more popular than they've been since maybe the 50s or 60s. Cassettes are all over the place. I know those are pretty boutique. You find a cassette nowadays, it's going to be a special release. It's going to be a soundtrack. It's going to be something that's a re-release. But I love movies and books. I don't read, but I do like books. And I actually found a copy of Jaws for 50 cents, a novelization the other day. And I found a copy of, oh God, Silent Rage sealed at Goodwill for $1 the other day. So if that's how you have to build your physical media collection, do it. If you don't have a lot of money, buy stuff that you like or love and keep it. Or if you find something that's you check out and it's expensive and you can resell it and buy something that you want. Plain and simple. You can build a physical media collection with very few funds, very little funds. Maybe not everything you want because some stuff's super expensive. Box sets and 4Ks and Blu-rays and DVDs and all that stuff. But the first film I want to share, and my first piece of physical media I want to share, is very near and dear to my heart. It's a 1981 slasher film from New Zealand, the first horror film produced in New Zealand, set in my hometown of Galesburg, Illinois. It's called Dead Kids. And this is a Severin release, and it's out of print, so you'll have to go to eBay or maybe Amazon. You can find it. I think it had an umbrella release also. But there's the front, that awesome Severin logo. There's the back. You can see the mask of the killer there. Here's the discs. They're upside down. You get the idea. It's a needle going into somebody's eye. It's got some cool special commentary with the director, commentary with a couple of the actors, commentary with the special effects artist, the soundtrack by Tangerine Dream. That's super fun. You can actually buy the soundtrack from TerraVision, and it's beautiful. It's got a cool color. I think I have like 3 copies of it because I bought some. I was actually lucky enough to work with Severin Films and show Dead Kids in the town it was set, my hometown, Galesburg, Illinois. And the theater we showed it in was a 100-and-some-year-old theater that had the likes of Harry Houdini on the stage. And I'm sure many others during the vaudeville days. But yes, I was on a stage that Harry Houdini performed magic on, and it was amazing. and I was lucky enough to do that. And I'd like to work and get the movie shown again somewhere in the area. I'm not sure I can do it at the Orpheum, but I'd love to get Dead Kids shown to more people because even in this town, most people don't know about Dead Kids. I was also lucky enough to have Joe Bob Briggs read a letter I wrote to the show, The Last Drive In, where I talked about Dead Kids. And last I knew, I mean, it's been several years, but Joe Bob had never seen Dead Kids. So it sounds like if I show it, I need to invite Joe Bob and Darcy to the film. But I love physical media. I think anybody and everybody should go out and get some form of physical media. What would I want to watch the other day? I wanted to watch Murder in the First. I couldn't find it anywhere streaming that was free. You would have had to pay for it, which is fine. But I found a copy today on DVD for $2. Case looks great. The DVD looks amazing. It's nice and clean. But now for $2, I own a film that I adore. So if you have to do it on the cheap, do it on the cheap. Hit your thrift stores up, hit your Goodwills, your Salvation Armies, your antique shops, hit all of those places up. And if you have some extra cash to spend, throw it at Severin Films, Vinegar Syndrome, TerrorVision, Shout Factory, Arrow. I love Arrow. Any of these boutique labels. Arrow's actually where I started. And a lot of my Arrow stuff's still sealed because I'll leave it sealed because I watched it online. I guess I don't need to reseal it. And the movies are going to my kids when I'm gone. So they're going to have a lot of stuff to watch. I hope to do this maybe a couple times a week. I have plenty of movies, and I'll maybe even add some books and some records and who knows what else. But it will be physical media. For the other Wire We Pour, which is a segment on the podcast, you have to check out the podcast. I might even have some guests on at times, some friends, have them share something that's physical media. Heck, I'm still in my scrubs from work. That's what kind of Friday night I'm having. But I hope you buy physical media, love physical media. We're not pumping iron here because it's called Let's Get Physical, but we're pumping physical media. Have a good night or a good day or whatever it is, where you are, and take care. Bye bye.
What do you think this is all about? You think this is a fucking costume? This is a way of life.